All right, I am here with Elliot Yamin from season 5 of American Idol. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
And happy belated Halloween.
Oh yeah, boo.
Yeah, did you dress up
Uh,
as anything? Go to any parties or anything?
I didn't. I did absolutely nothing for Halloween. I
Nothing.
stayed home. I stayed home and watched movies.
Not even the World Series, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I watched the World Series and then caught up with some. I caught up on some episodes on demand, and then I watched a couple movies and you know just really boring stuff.
Yeah. Well, I do hear that you are a big Angels fan.
I am. Check it out.
Perfect. So does that mean we can count on you to be fighting for the Phils?
I wouldn't say that I'm necessarily fighting for them. I would definitely wouldn't mind. I wouldn't be mad at them actually winning the World Series.
Okay. Okay.
Although it's not looking too good tonight. But but yeah, actually have a lot of family in Philly. My mom she's originally from there,
Cool.
and so all my cousins back east are all Philly fanatics right now.
Awesome. Well, I'm a Philly girl, so we'll take some extra fans.
Okay, yeah, cool. All right, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Just this once.
All right. All right. All right. So you just came back from a USO tour, correct? And
Correct.
this was the second year that you did this.
Yeah, this was our second year. We last year they sent us over to Europe, and this year they sent us kind of in the Pacific Rim area in Guam and Japan.
All right. How was it any different this year than last year?
Um, It was different. It was a little different. We just got to visit. In Europe, we went to three different bases: one in England, one in Belgium, and then another in Germany. All of which were Air Force bases. So
Okay.
this time around in Guam and Japan, we went to two Air Force bases, one Marine base, and one naval base, which was really cool. So we got to see some different kind of bases, see different levels of the armed forces. And it was certainly different getting to see Japan the way we saw it this time around because we were actually just there on tour um, a couple months prior to our last trip there. So we definitely saw Japan in a different light, staying on bases and
Right.
uh, playing for Americans and Japanese, and it was really cool.
Awesome. It's got to be really rewarding to be able to kind of give the soldiers an entertainment break.
It's really rewarding. I know they're all filled with gratitude and they welcome us with open arms and they really appreciate us being there and we went to visit a lot of smaller bases too. So I know that a lot of these bases, especially since the war started, they tend to get overlooked for entertainment because a lot of it's focused on the Middle East. And it's cool to be able to go to those places and say, hey, thank you personally, for what it is that y'all do and for keeping us safe and allowing us to have our freedom and saying thanks in person is a really cool opportunity, and I want to be taking USO tours for as long as I can. So
Yeah.
it meant the world to us. So I know it meant a lot to them, and so I think we get more out of it than they actually do. Um,
I
being
don't know
able
about
to get,
that.
being able to give back and play abroad.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's such a fantastic opportunity. So,
Indeed,
another cause that you give your time to is diabetes research, and you just spoke at the World Diabetes Congress. It
I
looks like it
did.
was a pretty amazing speech, from what I have heard.
Oh, well, I wouldn't go with amazing. I mean, it wasn't like I gave this rousing speech. There were all these kinds of forums going on throughout the day,
Hmm.
and it was basically like a diabetes carnival, if you can imagine, just like being at the state fair, but everything was all diabetes. There were delegates there from all over the world, each of whom had a little booth set up, and every major medical company was represented there with all the newest, latest technology for insulin pumps and insulin therapy,
Hmm.
and so it was like a diabetic amusement park,
Right.
uh, and it was cool because they had all kinds of forums going on, and I just spoke at a couple of them, and it wasn't the speeches weren't. It wasn't more of a speech. It was just kind of more of just me sharing my story and talking about how one forum was about. Um, how I use music as a medium to share my plight with diabetes with others. And another one was just another forum was about accepting diabetes and living with it, and just sharing my story about how I cope with the disease and what I do to stay healthy and so forth. So it was fun.
Okay, good. Well, you mentioned music. So let's talk about your album, Fight for Love. It's been out since May.
That's right.
All right. How has promoting your second record been different from the first one?
It's different in every which way possible. The nature of the business, the landscape of radio, has totally changed since my first album came out. And so, being an independent artist, being out there hustling, you really get to see and know everything firsthand, because it's all kind of, there's only a few of us, working the record. So, it's been tough, man. The business is tough. It's in a tough part right now, and I understand that in this business that I chose, there can be peaks and valleys and ups and downs and fast times and slow times.
Sure.
And excuse me. So, but the thing is just battling through it and keep working hard, and but yeah, man, it's tough. It's a tough time out there for getting airplay and just sales in general. Every artist is having a tough time out there, and
Sure.
it's such a double-edged sword, because I would rather be doing nothing else with my life or anything else in the world, but at the same time, this is my profession, and you wish that there were more things out there to protect the artists so that they can make a living too.
Sure.
And not that I can't doing what I do, because I'm very fortunate that I can.
Yeah.
But man, it's just tough out there. It's tough.
Yeah. I think a lot of people think, oh, you're on American Idol, so you have it easy for the rest of your life now. That was all you ever needed.
Sure.
And I think certain people now are maybe shining some light on the fact that, no, you still need to do a little work. I don't know if you were able to see Chris Sly's blog, where he kind of spoke out to people, telling them just that.
Yeah, I agree with him. I mean, it's always work. It's no one gets to be successful just by sitting on their butt, but yeah, I find that it's once you reach a certain level of success or a certain peak in your career, it's even harder to sustain that and stay on top and stay at that level. Very few people get to do that, and you know what? All I care about is making good, honest music, and being able to. I'm fortunate to have a loyal fan base, and as long as as long as I can earn a living doing what I love to do, none of that would be possible without, my fans and the people who just want to hear me perform and appreciate my music. And man, all I want to do is make a living. And obviously American Idol has afforded me that opportunity. So
Sure.
I couldn't be happier.
Good.